Sabena is a very new Tao Healing Hands practitioner. She just recently completed her training, and she's going to share her personal stories with everybody. So welcome, Sabrina. Sabena.
So I got my Tao Healing Hands, the third level. I believe it was the end of March. So it's been just a little over a month, and I have to say, I have at first, I didn't really see much change in myself, but I have to say, I think in about a week or two after that, it's just been incredible. I've been really like I can feel the difference when I do my practices. I really feel it in my heart. I'm not really sure how to explain that, but there are moments where I'm walking down the street and it's like I just have so much gratitude. And actually, this is what I wanted. I wanted to feel more gratitude in my life. But it's really like an opening. It's almost like there are times where I walk to the subway and I feel like my chest is just open and my heart is open and I'm filled with joy and it's been really great, actually, to the point where my husband has actually noticed because he's like, whatever you're doing, he's like, keep doing it because you're a different, you're quite different. Like your mind, your energy. I've noticed there's a change. I do it on my children. My son had back pain recently. He's quite young, so he shouldn't be having back pain. But I did a Tao Healing Hands for him, and it went away. So he was quite happy, and always telling me, "Mom, do your hands, do your hands." I also did it remotely for some friends, and they also got really great results. A friend of mine, for instance, he had his car stolen and he had a lot of trouble with the insurance. They didn't want to, give him they didn't want to give the claim to him. And we're making things very difficult. So he was very, very down. And so I started to do some Tao healing for him remotely. And at times, at first he would say, oh, one day he would say, okay, no, I don't really feel anything. But then when I would speak to him the next day, he'd say, no, 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 I feel really different today. I feel much lighter. I'm in a much better mood. I'm not so heavy. And then I kept doing the Tao Healing Hands for him. And then I think within about 2 weeks, I got a phone call from him saying that out of the blue, after what seemed like it was going to be a long fight with the insurance company, he got a phone call from them, from the gentleman saying, I'm really sorry I haven't returned your messages. He wasn't around or something. And he said, no, we're going to give you your claim. And they actually gave him more money than what the claim was for. So that was a really big bonus for him. So now he's able to go and buy another car. I did it also for another friend of mine who was she said, I'm pretty much heading for a burnout. So I'm going to ask my work and she's a social worker. So she said, I'm going to ask them if they could give me a 6-month sabbatical, but I'm not sure if they'll give it to me for the dates that I want, because, right now social workers are needed, especially with COVID. So I said, okay, well, let me help you with your stress and we'll do a Tao Healing Hands session for it. And I did it with her over the phone. And I think within about a week and a half, she messaged me saying that her her request was approved and for the dates that she wanted. And she didn't expect to get a response so quickly because they told her it would take a while, but she ended up getting it a lot faster. So she was really happy about that. I've seen, just in practicing, I feel so different. I notice the days where I don't practice. So it's almost become something almost slightly addictive in the sense that it gives me such a high in my day. And there are moments where, for instance, I'm tired or I feel a little bit exhausted because I'm constantly running around. And then I'll do my Tao Healing Hands and I'll do session for myself or do a practice. And usually within the hour, I'm back full with energy, not even realizing that I was quite exhausted just, an hour ago. So yeah, I've seen quite a few things. I also had another situation with my brother where we don't always see things eye to eye, so we tend to have a lot of friction. I did a Tao Healing Hands, actually a few of them, for our relationship. And we had gotten into an argument over WhatsApp, which is not exactly the nicest. And normally, when such a thing happens, we would not talk to each other for at least a few weeks. And so this was really bothering me. And I said, okay, no, I'm going to do Tao Healing Hands. So I did one for the relationship. I did a few actually. And then the very next day, out of the blue, he messaged me almost as if there was no argument. Everything was okay, which to me was quite a shock because that never happens. And so I knew definitely at that moment it was the Tao Healing Hands because there's no way that would have happened otherwise. So yeah, in general, I have seen, a really good shift. I definitely feel really good. I also feel more connected. I don't know if it's to source or to myself, but there's just more fluidity within myself. And I notice when I practice, I feel that. I feel this gratitude, which brings me closer to like my spiritual being. And so far, it's been really, really great. And I hope to continue this by taking more courses and, furthering my knowledge in it.
Great, Sabina. I love the stories. You have so many stories. Sabina, as a first time participant who took all three levels, can you just share with maybe a new person that journey of going through that process?
Sure. Um, so I'm one of these people that is not so sensitive. There are other people who will be like, "Oh my God, I felt it. I felt it." I'm not one of those people, unfortunately. And at first, I was a little bit frustrated because I thought, "Oh my God, is there something wrong with me? I'm not feeling anything." But I kept at it because you had told me, Master Francisco, no, you got to keep at it. You just keep doing it, and I'm really glad I did because I kept practicing, and I made it a point to just keep practicing no matter what. At times I used to wonder, okay, am I feeling anything? Is it doing anything? But it might not be instantaneous, but it is doing something because I can tell you from when I took my first course, which was end of January, and now we are in May, there's a really big difference in myself. And I mean, to the point, like I told you, that where my husband noticed it as well. So I feel a lot happier in my mind. And I did the second course, I believe, was then a month later in February. And that's the one where we learn to heal others. And that I found very interesting. So, of course, I started to practice right away. I started to practice on my family, on friends. And of course, it's not that everybody's going to say, yes, yes, I felt it, but I had mixed reviews. But in the end, I think everybody felt a slight shift,
Yeah.
whether it was right away or within a few days. I even did it for my mom, who maybe doesn't always feel it right away. But I remember when I speak to her the next day, she's always like, no, today I feel really great. Like, I feel good. So, yeah. And then the third one was the third level, which was a month later again, which was for all aspects of life. That was also a very interesting, extremely interesting course, and I really enjoyed it. And I've been practicing with that ever since, also. And I've had results, like with my friend and his insurance company situation, and as well as my other friend with her requesting leave, sabbatical. So it's been a very, like, I had to work a little bit for it, but it also helped me get more comfortable with it, which I think at first I found maybe a little bit difficult to do. But it's been really a great experience.
Wow, amazing.
So I would
Okay.
say keep with it.
Yeah.